Hey guys, it's Cody here with High Valley Predator Pros. Super excited. I know I told you guys I'd do an unboxing video on this scope, but truth be told, holidays kind of delayed shipment a little bit. Was told it was going to be here. It was the day before Ohio muzzleloader season, so we couldn't get out past midnight. Scope came. I pulled it out of the box, got some batteries charged up, updated the scope, plugged in some of the ballistic info I needed to, threw it on the gun, sighted in, and we went hunting. Unfortunately, we didn't see anything, didn't hear anything. It was a miserable night, but we have that sometimes. So I didn't do an unboxing video, so sorry for lying to you. But there's tons of those online. But I want to touch base on a couple things with the scope here. Number one, we'll start what it's sitting on. First things first, the tripod. This is the Warrior tripod with the Chief leveling head. I'm not easy on things. I tend to really bang the crap out of my stuff. Not even gonna lie to you guys, a couple weeks before Christmas there, I actually had forgot to strap the tripod down on the back of the flatbed, and I got home, got out of the truck, went to unload my stuff, and I'm like, where's my tripod? Freaking out, middle of the night. I ended up heading back down the road, and actually it was on the side of one of the main highways, laying in the middle of the highway. Luckily no one had hit it. It's got some dings and some scratches on it. But I'll tell you what, bang up tripod, love it. Does fantastic. On top of that, got a Ruger American Gen 2 and 22 Creedmoor sitting in an MDT field stock chassis. Absolutely love this combo. This is the definition of a budget combo. Gun shoots really good. I'm getting like 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch groups with the Hornady Precision Hunter 80 grainers. Shoots really, really good with them. Out on the end, I got a Otter Creek Labs hydrogen suppressor. Love Otter Creek Labs. I have their hydrogen. I also have their polonium 30. It's a K can. It's a little bit shorter. Both are absolutely fantastic for the price. I love them. Can't say good things about them, or enough good things about them, rather. Then we got the Storm S6r sitting on top here. The kind of pride and joy of the video here. I don't have a whole lot of field experience with it yet. I've only had it for, a week. So I'm not going to get too in-depth with a lot of things and try to pull things out of my butt and tell you guys that this thing's fantastic and the best scope I've ever seen in my life, because I just don't know that yet. I can say this much. Really liking the scope so far. Really liking it. I'm a big RIX fan. I think RIX is a great company. I've ran their regular S3 and S3, S3 and S6. Tyler has an S6 and an S3. Mark has an S3. Fantastic. Storm series in general has been fantastic. Never any issues. Everyone that has them loves them. Great things. But we now got a range-finding edition. So one of the things that I when I was debating on kind of which way I wanted to go and which scope I kind of wanted to make my next scope, I saw the S6r. Love the Storms. I've told a lot of people, a lot of the guys that, Tyler, Justin, Mark, they'll all tell you. I tell them all the time, my favorite scope's the S6. Like, I would have the S6. If I had $20,000 to spend, I'd buy the S6 and have the rest to do whatever I want with. I think it's the best bang for your buck. The S6r comes out. I'm like, okay, so now it's got my attention. Rangefinder, cool. I wasn't sold on the rangefinder. The rangefinder for me wasn't a huge priority. I've looked through my adder enough. I have enough hours behind that scope that I can judge pretty much shootable and unshootable distances. Now, I couldn't tell you if it was 275, if it was 250, if it was 175, but I knew I could shoot it. I knew I couldn't shoot it. My fear with me getting a rangefinder was I range out there, I find out that dog's at, 400 yards. Okay, well, I know what my scope does at 400 yards. I'm just going to hold and shoot instead of trying to work them dogs in. So I was kind of hesitant, and then I hear, ballistic calculator. And there wasn't a whole lot of good videos out on YouTube truly explaining, like, if that ballistic calculator had the point of impact reticle. And for some reason, for me, that was like a really big factor. End up, obviously finding some information on the internet. There is some out there, but it does in fact have the point of impact reticle. Best way I can describe it is pretty similar for the deer hunters on here. Pretty similar to like the Burris Illuminator scope or Eliminator scope or whatever it was that came out, where it range finds and then it pops up a reticle below your main crosshairs, depending on the distance, where you should aim and where your bullet's going to hit, as long as you have all the information added correctly. So to add that information, what you do is you get in your app, you go to Ballistic Calculator, and you fill out your bullet weight, your velocity, and then your atmospheric conditions, elevation, humidity, temperature, that kind of stuff. You can put in there for spin drift. You can add those details in there if you'd like. Did all that. I've not tested, have not confirmed it. However, looking just at the numbers it's given me, it's pretty dang accurate. So, but I can't say that it's 100% accurate because I haven't been out and tested it myself physically. I can just tell you, looking at the numbers on one sheet and the other, it looks correct. As far as what's new in the S6r aside from the rangefinder and ballistic calculator, let's jump back to the S3s. The stock S3 and then the S3R, identical scopes, just with a rangefinder attached to the side and the ballistic calculator. You move up to the S6s. You have the S6 and the S6R. In the regular S6, I believe you have a sub 25 millikelvin sensor. What RIX has done in the S6R is they've bumped that up to a sub 20 millikelvin sensor. So what that does is that gives you a finer readings of temperature differences. So what does that mean? That means that smaller differences in temperature are now showing up on the S6R as compared to the S6, resulting in a clearer, more defined picture. So, fantastic. There is a difference. Now, I'm not going to stand here and say, oh my God, it's a huge difference. Looking through this scope, looking through the regular S6, you can tell that there is a difference for sure. And I have not had it out in bad weather conditions, things like that, on bad thermal nights. Haven't had it out there yet. I'm sure it's going to make a difference there. I just can't state that now at this time because I haven't had it out there. The scope in and of itself, it's a pretty bulletproof scope. It comes with a nice neoprene cover, which I thought was a fantastic add-on by RIX. You're able to pop that cover over top of it. It has a little strap. You strap it up, protects that scope while you're riding around in the truck or in the bed or whatever, however you transport your guns. It just protects it, that little added layer of protection, which I thought was really, really nice. The rangefinder itself, it seems pretty sturdy. I was kind of worried that stuff would catch it and hit it and it might break off, but I mean it feels sturdy. It's a sturdy piece. I don't think that's going to be any issue. If you're a guy that is used to flipping his lens cap out to the right, you're going to have to change it to the left because you can't move the rangefinder. Rangefinder's on that side. You have to keep your stuff clear. I have noticed sometimes my hands float in front of it and I don't get a good reading if I'm up there trying to do something. So you really have to kind of make sure you're getting into the routine of keeping your hands behind the rangefinder instead of out in front of it. So all learning curves. You have that with any new scope that you go to, right? Battery life, I will say right now, I've been out with it twice. We just did one set the other night for a farmer that was having some issues. Really even wouldn't call that a night out. I've got about 7 hours of hunting with it. Battery life seems to be pretty good. Once you turn the scope on, your rangefinder is not on. It's not going to run all the time. I know that was another kind of question I had. It doesn't turn on until you click the button. Okay. Once you click that button, if you have your ballistic calculator activated, which you press your menu button fast once, click the front button, that's going to turn on your ballistic calculator. Once that's on, you activate your rangefinder. It's going to turn the rangefinder on. It's a full-time rangefinder. It's going to range consistently wherever you're pointing around. There's a little red dot or red box, depending on what you choose in your scope. Mine and most of them, I believe all of them, are on the left side of the reticle. You hold that on your target. Whenever you hold that on your target, you press the right button again. That's going to activate your ballistic calculator. It will show you mils or MOAs depending on what you want, but it also illuminates that point of impact reticle in the scope, depending on how far it is. Depends on how far down it goes. The point of impact reticle does not show up in the picture-in-picture. Not a big problem. Not a big problem for me anyway. I'm not worried about it. I'll get used to it. I usually run this scope in picture-in-picture, or I used to run the S6 in picture-to-picture. So far, so good. I'm really, really liking it. Got it, and you can get yours from Alpha Outside Thermal Optics, Chad Annan, down there below Morgantown. Great guy. Great guy. I can't say enough good things about him. He's awesome. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message. Feel free to call Chad, get yourself a S6r today. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me on Facebook, comment down below. You know, I'm usually trying to be pretty active on responding to all that stuff. If you have any questions at all, feel free to hit me up. If you're in need of a thermal, hit up Chad. He also does drone services, thermal drone services. He's got Alpha drone services. So if you have a lost pet, lost livestock, shot a deer, can't find it, whatever it may be, you can get a hold of Chad. He does it all, man. Great guy. So make sure you guys look him up. Alpha Outside Thermal Optics. I believe on Google it's Alpha Outside LLC. Kind of covers all of them, the drone stuff and the thermal stuff. So hit him up. Get yourself one of these things. I don't think you'll be disappointed. You know, in that $3,000 range, I think this is probably one of the best scopes on the market in that price range. You know, super clear scope. Awesome. You get the ballistic calculator, the rangefinder, all that stuff. So make sure you hit them up. And until next time, guys, make sure you drop a like and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. And we'll see you guys next time. We're going to get out in the woods tonight and try to put a couple down. Later.